Hello, sisters. Call me Z for the sake of this narration. I am 35, educated, confident, and thriving in every area except love. My relationships never last beyond 6 months. Then, 3 months ago, I met a 45-year-old man from the US visiting family here in Ghana. We connected instantly at a family gathering I attended with his niece, and soon we were inseparable. He was divorced with a daughter he adored and treated me like I was his world. For once, our relationship lasted longer than 6 months, and I thought he was the one. One day, while on the call as he drove with his friends, we laughed, reminisced, and shared how much we missed each other. But after he thought we'd hang up, I overheard him telling his friends he was just using me for fun and had no intention of marrying me. They laughed and mocked me. I felt shattered. I said, "Thank you," and ended the call. And for a month now, he's been calling and messaging and even sending his niece to apologize. But I feel used, brokenhearted, and lost. Sisters, what should I do? Wow. This is like a moment of silence.
Can I go?
Yes.
I don't think she's paying a lot of attention because relationships or getting to know somebody is always about give and take. So if you're giving, you should be getting. And you should be paying attention to... People cannot pretend for long. People can't pretend for long. So even if in the beginning it's pretend, you said 6 months, so you see certain things that he does or how he responds to certain things that you do to let you know whether he's with you or not. Secondly, you listed some things that you said you had, but you don't have love. So because of that, your mindset that you are love is not something we go and look for and go and pick up, or I'm going to buy like tomatoes I'm going to buy at the market. It's not, it's something that happens. It has to, if you're talking about the romantic one, or it has to happen. You meet somebody and then it will develop. You could start with chemistry or whatever, and then it's like give and take. As you're receiving and you're giving, then what the two of you bring together is what is going to give life to your, that's why your relationship. That's why there's no formula. So what works for both of you is what you focus on. But when you say, I have da 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 da, maybe those things are achievements. Some things you go and look for them and you achieve them. It could be a degree, it could be whatever, a business, whatever. But love is not an achievement because it's never one-sided. Unless you're talking about self-love, then that one, you can have it for yourself, because self-love, or should I say your fulfillment as a person, 95% comes from you, whether you're in a relationship or not, or you have friends or not. It's an inside job. You are solely responsible for your development, your fulfillment, your what. It comes from you. So if you say you don't have love, then that's also a problem there, because you do have it. You have to love yourself first, know yourself first. Then when you meet people, you have to make sure you choose people who love you the way you do. And whatever they bring with, it should be an added on. They don't have to come and take away. That's what, and then number 3, right? So, and then that thing that they say you have to be looking for people to complete you is also the biggest lie ever, because people still evolve. Nobody is ever complete. You're also going on a journey. We are all evolving. So how are you now waiting for somebody? Be complete on your own, even if it's your little, whatever it is that you are doing, make sure you are complete with that. It doesn't have to be huge things. Something that works for you is what makes you complete. Before you don't get up and say, oh, I'm going to look for love. You're still going on a journey. You meet people, and I always use the word stimulation because there are so many things in the world that stimulate people differently. So as you're going on a journey, you meet people, oh, I like talking to this person. I want to act upon it. I want to see how it goes. And he obviously is also looking for something. So then you now make decisions based on both of you, what you do together. But this thing is very serious because she's sounding like she was blindsided by what he must have said, like, you know, or what he said about, yes, she'll be embarrassed and everything, but he said he doesn't even like her and he's using her. We know. As a person, you know.
Not always.
No, you see, no, I know what I'm saying. There are things we tolerate. It doesn't mean you don't know. Remember I said something. And I
Some
myself
people,
as
some people are married to their enemy, but
Yes,
they didn't even see
yes.
it in
Yes.
2 years of the marriage.
Good.
They
I am
didn't.
not saying that
Because people pretend.
I'm not saying she should be a mind reader, a magician to know everything. I'm saying that, Olivia, you mentioned intuition. If you pay attention, even if you may not have facts, you have a feeling. It's always there. You have that feeling because, like I said, it's give and take. You cannot tell me that all the time you were with the person, everything was so, you know, no, and then suddenly you are hearing it. She can't tell me she's totally shocked.
She can.
She can.
Oh, then she must be really dense. I'm
No.
sorry.
No,
I don't think so,
no.
Gail.
I don't think
I
so.
don't
Okay,
think
now,
so.
Olivia, before I let you go, I want to ask you,
Yeah.
you know, there are certain men that want to play macho in front of their friends.
True.
That's what I was going to come
Right?
to.
There are certain, I've seen
That
it.
was where I was going to come
Macho
to.
from
They
his
love
friends.
you,
Why do you care about his
but
friends? You
because
and
of
me.
boys
It's you
kind
and
of
me.
influence,
No,
they
no.
say, oh,
Why do you get
don't worry, I'm
swayed by
using
what
her.
he's doing
But
with his
meanwhile,
friends?
it's not the kind of person
She's
he
not getting
is.
swayed,
Do you
yes.
understand? So do you think it's that situation? Or what are your thoughts on that?
It could be either way.
It could be that.
It could be either
Hey.
way. It could be that he was pretending in front of his friends.
Why?
But
It happens.
just to get their attention, if he's sort of a player, so he doesn't want to be them to think that, oh, now he's actually gotten somebody that he
That he
really
likes,
likes.
yeah.
Because believe it or not, this girl has been, I don't know whether to say, like, she's been in denial when it comes to love.
Yeah.
You know, so for the first time in a long time, she
It's
decided to be
different,
open.
yeah.
So she was like, okay, watching the trends, this guy is not too bad.
Why not?
Why not? So I feel so bad for her because this guy has messed her up. Because now, whoever it is who is going to come into her life,
It's going to be hard.
it's going to be hard. It's like he looked me in the eye and told me he loved me. He's got plans with me. We gelled together. We laughed together. And in her text, she said, oh, we laughed, we spoke. So she knows that she can be herself.
And he takes care of her.
She knows she can be herself, her true self. She doesn't have to hide anything. So this is her putting her best foot forward and thinking that, oh, for once, Charlie, this guy. And for the guy to do so, had that incident not happened, she would sit back and ask herself, would she ever have known? Would he have played her, and until when? So, sweetheart, I'm so sorry that you had to go through it. It's very tough and it's very hard. And I don't want you to completely give up on love. That's all I can say to you. Do not give up on love. He's begging you. I honestly don't think that you should, even if he was not playing about it. For me, if my soon-to-be husband cannot be confident about me and would have to pretend to be somebody else with
But
his
they're still
friends,
dating. They're not yet. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
even if they are dating, even if you're friends, and you have to pretend to your friends, there's a problem. Because the person has to be confident about you, even if you're just
Maybe I'm not
friends.
sure he was pretending. Maybe he was telling the truth. which
Maybe
is
he
very
could be.
possible.
Maybe he could be telling the
Yeah.
truth. Maybe he was doing that. But at the end of the day, it's a very bitter pill for you to swallow.
Yeah,
I honestly
agree.
think that give your time space, give yourself space and time to heal, to reflect. It's not easy. It's not, I wouldn't even wish this on my worst enemy because, you know, everybody in this world is looking for love. It could be love from a friend, love from a father, love from a mother, and everybody wants love in return. So what you're going through has messed you up. So like I was saying, don't close yourself up to be in love, but give yourself time, space to heal. Forgive him and forgive yourself. And like I always say, there's no harm in praying. Pray about it. We learn through life's experiences. Sometimes life does not always come the way we want things to come. And it's tough. But you learn, put it in your pocket. And then next time, moving on, you open your eyes a bit more wider. Ask God to help you. I don't know this person, because I know some guys, they will buy you flowers, they will lie on the floor for you to walk on them. When they sleep with you, they don't even know
That you exist.
That you exist. So sometimes it's hard for you to go into the minds of people, especially when it comes to relationships, because people are in relationships for all sorts of reasons. They are in it because maybe you have a big penis, maybe you have a big fat bank account, maybe you know people, maybe you're a celebrity. You don't know whatever reasons people are jumping in before they ask you out. So sometimes, like I always say, don't rush to be intimate as well with people. When you decide, give yourself opportunities to love and to be loved in return. But ask God to help you, help you, help you. I don't want you, because already you had love issues. I don't want this to even be like a bigger stamp and you're like, oh no, this love thing is just not for me. Oh, what? It is for you. It's because you haven't found the right person yet. And honestly, the right person could exist, but be patient with yourself. Don't, because sometimes when you're aggressive, like you're looking for love, it never comes. But sit back, reflect, forgive yourself, give yourself time to breathe, to heal, and pray about it, and ask God to bring the right people your way and give you an experience to love and to be loved in return. Just like Christ loved the church, you should find somebody who like genuinely loves you, but there is love out there for you, so don't worry. And maybe if you need to go for therapy, psychological help, please go for it, but don't close the chapter completely. It's not a lost case, I beg you.
Right.
Okay, finally my turn. So what I'll say is that there are some people, because of the desperation to find love, they don't have an identity of their own. So when they get into a relationship, they try to do everything sweet to be able to sustain that relationship, and it begins to look desperate. So you have a lot of times where men, you're a good woman, so you can say, oh, she's a good woman, she can do this, she can do this, but that extra oomph,
It's not there.
it's not there. So relationship doesn't last because it's boring. It's like, what food you like, whatever food you like.
Like coming to America.
Like coming to America, whatever thing you like, you know. So you have that mentality going into all your relationships, and I can bet you that if we diagnose all your relationships, you probably go in there with the intention of satisfying that person. So if this person likes playing golf, all of a sudden you also want to play golf. If this person likes going, all of a sudden you're not a party person. If this person likes, all of a sudden you are doing this. I'm sure I could see that pattern in her relationship. So she doesn't have a true identity for herself. Now this, and then number two, when you are looking, when you have that desperation around you, it's very visible, because there are moments where the guy will do something, you are supposed to get pissed, you won't get pissed. You are making excuses for the person. Then the person knows that, go away, So that's one thing. Number two, how many of us here haven't heard a man who hasn't even slept with you, but will go out among his friends and say, oh, I finished him. When men sit together, sometimes at a certain age, you can have a man who is faithful to his girlfriend, but among the boys, sometimes they need to pretend like they've been around the block. Because when people are giving their story, I mean, then this girl, then this girl, this girl, then you can only boast of Akosia. It's like you are not.
The guys will tease you, crap.
They will tease you. So, and the reverse is for the woman. You can have a woman who has slept with 30 women. You ask her, how many people have you slept with? Oh, just 2. And that one is because they can't make an excuse for the fact that their hymen is broken. If they could replace it, they will say none. And that is how life works. So for me, that conversation where he told his friends that, oh, I just use some, I won't excuse it. But that wouldn't be the reason why I would dismiss that relationship. For me. That's because the fact that he even knows that I know, and the fact that he's been chasing her for a month to try and apologize, get the knees, for me, it tells that it's unfortunate. If I were you, what I would do is to redefine the relationship going forward. Do you understand? Okay, fine. You said you were playing with me. So what do you want with me now? Give him the audience. You see, when you're in a relationship, relationships are difficult. And marriages are even more difficult. If you can't have conversations, yes, you've heard something. It's terrible. It's appalling. It's below the belt. But you owe it to whoever you are with, an audience. Especially when they are chasing you to give it to you.
Yeah.
You owe it to them a table to sit down. You want to explain yourself. What did you mean by that? So you thought I wasn't on the line, so you were saying XYZ, XYZ. You let him come with whichever explanation he has. Maybe he might go the extra mile to even say, look, listen, in order to prove to you that this isn't this is the steps I'm willing to take. Or this is what look, there was a guy I know who was dating a girl, and every time he sees me, this girl crash, it be fucking girl, it be this, it be that, And look, the kind of said very unpalatable things about it. And this is a girl I know. So one day, he actually was saying unpalatable to the extent that he started describing the girls. Yeah, right, like, oh, the girl, she's so unkempt, and that her this thing is always so much hair. Then quickly I said, hey, my guy.
This guy.
Never ever talk about a woman like that. It is very unpalatable. All the things you've been saying, I've been listening. But for this one, it's below the girl, and I'm a woman. If you come and describe a woman like that to me, guess what? I was here. In less than 8 months,
They're married.
I got an invitation card to their wedding.
No way.
Oh,
It's like that.
You see,
it's
that's
macho.
what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That you see,
It's a macho feeling.
it's a macho thing.
It's a macho
Guys,
thing.
Look, they'll go, oh, this guy, oh, no, Chai made them, oh, my party keke, oh, made
It's
them,
a
oh,
lie.
made them
He's in
just, they
love
do
with
this,
the
oh, made
girl.
them, look, listen, and they say all manner of things to look macho in front of their friends. But that's what I'm saying, that for me, from what I've seen and where I'm coming from, and I know this couple, till date, they are together. The man respects the woman. The woman, if I'm not mistaken, the woman is like the alpha in their marriage.
So it's a weakness thing to want to be an alpha because you are not. So that is why they do that.
They
so
do
now,
those things to
because
show that they are in
now
control, they are in control, they are in
Isn't that
control.
immaturity, though?
So that's what I'm saying, that look, for me, I like to be real.
Yeah.
That look, listen, yes, what you heard was very unfortunate. It was sad. But for me, it's a blessing in its because it gives you an opportunity to reset the relationship and put it on proper grounds. So for instance, if you were intimate already with the man, if he's coming forward, you should know that the coming forward is coming forward. Intimacy in sense is a nimbium because you will not allow yourself to be used. Now you can ask him concretely, what are your intentions in the relationship? You understand? Because truth be told, some of these burger boys too, when they come down, they are coming to come and enjoy small, and then they go back. Because they know that when they finally sit on the plane and go back, and they are calling, and you call them and they're not picking, you can't just get up and sit on the plane like, I've called you 3 times, 4 times, you're not picking. And then you come and video HMA back. They know you can't do that. So sometimes, when they're also in town, they also come and enjoy themselves more, and then they go. So there are so many possibilities here. What I'm trying to say is that for me, this presents an opportunity to have a proper conversation about your relationship and where to go for it from this. And finally, my advice to you, listen, don't look for it. Be it. Do things, find out things that you love. Go to place and set yourself like the kind of person that you want for yourself, truly. And sometimes find yourself in environments that presents people like that. But it doesn't mean that you should jump at anybody who is cool with you. So for instance, you love to read. Nothing stops you from joining a book club.
Yeah.
Because you might find a
Like-minded
guy
people.
like-minded who likes reading, and you can take it from there. You bond nicely. You like hiking. So nothing prevents you. Go hiking. Join little group. Now you go on Instagram, you see little groupings of people who are going hiking.
Yeah.
Nothing stops you. Oh, let me look for a hiking group. Let's go hiking together.
Yeah.
You might see somebody like-minded and be with the person. So don't shut yourself from love. Just know that it's there. But when you look for it so hard, it eludes you. When you're not looking, me, my husband, I was not looking for him. I was, look, if you had told me the time I met him that this man will marry me and make 2 babies out for me, I would have said, you are crazy, you are joking. It was far from my mind. All those I did wife material for, the 2,000 years. This one, there was no material. We didn't even buy the material. You understand?
Yeah.
We didn't date. You know, there was no material. It just went straight, Charlie. The way you did, the way I did. I think I can live with you. Can you live with me? Okay, let's
Wow.
move.
From into my boat.
So, you know, that's what I'm trying to say that, look, for me, sometimes when you're not looking, you find.
Yeah.
When you look too hard, it eludes you. But most importantly, whilst you are waiting, work on yourself.
Yeah.
Learn how to love yourself. And number 3, 35, you're not old. You still have room ahead of you. So all I'll say is that, my dear, and I'm sure you're beautiful too, just take care of yourself.
Yeah.
Groom yourself nicely if you have to.
Yeah.
Have healthy relationships. Learn to love yourself. Be happy. And then when you go into the conversation with this guy, you even know how to take it.
Yeah.
Now, if I were you, I have the upper hand. Because now you know something you didn't know before.
Yeah.
So that becomes your bargaining chip. So now you know. So bargain properly. Find out exactly what this man wants. But by all means, give him an audience.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what
All
I
right.
Yeah.
Thank you, sisters.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I really enjoyed this
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. And well, on all angles, I think I actually like what you said, Rosie, and also the fact that you said that the guy was not matured. I actually read a research that says guys actually mature from 45.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's possible.
So maybe she's even still dealing with someone in his
Possible, yeah.
30s.
Yeah.
So maybe
30s,
that's
15.
It's true, mentally they're quite
Anyway,
young.
imagine
It
me
takes
people
a
who are
while.
60 and
Yeah.
still have
Oh,
this
he's even
baby
45. He's
thought.
even 45. So this is just his beginning. His,
well.
you know.
Wish him well.
We wish him well. Anyway, thank you, sisters. Thank you for this wonderful episode. It was very enlightening, yeah, and very stimulating. So thank
Like
you,
that word, though.
sisters. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll take a quick break. And when we come back, I'll be sharing my final thoughts. Hello guys, you're welcome back. Now it's time for me to share my final thoughts on this episode of Sister Sister. Remember that this is actually brought to you by Kivo Pepper and Cindy Rice. So let's get straight into it. So my final thought on the letters, I'm going to start with letter 1. Well, this issue of office romance, sometimes it's just, you know, it's just very flimsy. Flimsy in the sense that people just develop feelings just because they are in the same space. And when they go out from that space, you know, it becomes different. So I think it's one of the things that happened with you, gentleman. I'm sure in your mind, you probably thought you have a relationship with this person. But in her mind, she didn't feel like it's a relationship. Or probably you did not even define this relationship that you said you had with Mami. So next time, it's important to define your relationships, make sure the person is actually on the same page with you, and you also being jealous could have been a factor. I mean, in relationship, people get jealous, people do different things, but it depends on your level of jealousy. Maybe you might have pushed too much that made her say, you know what, I don't think I can deal with this anymore. And when that happens, usually, women tends to kind of like confine to the next person, and that next person could have been that guy, and the you know, the amount of, you know, nagging and pushing from you could have also made her realize that, oh, there's something I could see in this person. I'm not saying it's the right thing to do, but maybe you are also part of why she left. And I would say, don't beat yourself too much. Don't beat yourself up too much, you know. It happens. Life goes on. If she's going to get married to the person, let her go. It's time for you to work on yourself, focus on your life, move on to, and also get better in everything that you are doing. For me, I don't believe in all that competition. Because she did, you have to do your own. Because she's with one man, you have to go and get a very fine lady. You might be doing all that and then even end up with the wrong person. So just do you. Do you. Be happy. You know, develop yourself. Just move on. Just move on. I'm sorry it had to happen. I wouldn't badmouth her for it because we really don't know the situation. We don't know if your relationship was defined, if it was one of just those office relationships that you were thinking that, you know, something was going to come out from. So I just think you should just do you. Move on. Find things that make you happy. And life goes on. And then the second one about, you know, sweet lady hearing this man that she thought she was in love with saying that he was just using her over a phone call. I would say, just like Rosie, you should give him audience. If he wants to talk, you should give him audience. Try to hear him out and know where it's coming from, because not everything that people say sometimes is what they mean, especially when it comes to men, especially when we've known that men don't even mature very early. Sometimes it could be one of those machoistic acts in front of his friends to feel among, to feel like the bad guy, to feel like, me too, I've done, I do, I used to do, you know? People say things a lot of times that they do not actually mean. It can be very detrimental, it can be very hurtful, but do they mean that always? No. They're probably trying to be macho at that moment. They're probably trying to feel among at that moment. So probably hear him out. And just like Rosie said, if you hear him out, you would know where this relationship stands. You would know what step to take moving on. But if you feel that you can't, I think you should not also close your heart to love. Like Olivia said, don't close your love to heart. There are good people out there. Don't go looking. Just love yourself. Be that person that you want. And when you love yourself, you would actually attract what is best for you. But if you go out looking, going out to look most of the times attracts you to things that are not meant for you. So give audience, listen, define your relationship, and also open your heart to the possibilities of love, love yourself, and don't go searching. Thank you so much for sending in your letters. We really appreciate you for trusting us to, you know, dissect and help find solutions to deal with these problems. Thank you so much. Anyway, if you want to be part of the show and you want to send in your letters, send them via sisterislive@gmail.com, or you can send your WhatsApp messages to the number 020-344-7033, 020-344-7033, and we will get to read it on the show. My name is Chris Carter, and a very big thank you to Kivo Pepper and Cindy Rice. See you next week.